Alright, before we start, there are potential spoilers for the indie game Slay the Princess. At least I think it's an indie game. You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And at the basement of that cabin, there's a princess. Time and time again, one man went through this cycle. His connection with this strange creature, his soul growing stronger, but his willpower getting weaker and weaker. Driven mad by endless hours, being pestered by voices in your head, and stabbed to death by a ghost princess with knives for hands. Traveling a dark tunnel with no end in sight. He had great power, and well, he could not use it. There were beings out there who could. An unseen evil dropped behind him, tore through his chest, and ripped out his soul, absorbing the soul's full power. The sapling that will grow into one of the most powerful demons anyone has ever faced in the entire constellation. The husk fell to the ground, and the universe collapsed around him. Reactor Core, the operator of the overarching organization, was a man blessed with superintelligence by an unnamed celestial. He had eyes around the constellation, the mass that makes up everything. Universes, multiverses, omniverses. The land of the mortals and the land of the demons. The satanic disciple who had taken the man's soul retreated into the background, traveling around the constellation, taking the life force of other variants of the organization. With this prey, it had collected great strength, overwhelming power. And it wasn't until it was too late that Goldeneye, the all-seeing, had finally noticed this creature, hurtling straight towards their fortress. The Guardians of Life and Death, Fearmonger of Copper 9 and Tip of Subcon Forest, readied themselves, positioning themselves at the front of the fortress. But it was already penetrated. The Anomaly, host and administrator of the Absolute Order, was corrupted and began spreading the power within the walls of the castle. Goldeneye was hit first. His power of all-seeing turned against his adversary as more and more were corrupted, with the two powerhouses positioned right outside Fortress, completely oblivious of this. Combined into the all-powerful being, the beginning and the end, to combat this demon. But it was too late. Absolute Order seized control of their minds, and everything was consumed. With this creature already having gained immense power, what more could it have? Tearing through the belongings of each of these hosts, each of these victims. One relic piqued its interest. Like a spiked mask in the shape of heart, like an immense amount of dark power. It took the mask and equipped it. And as the mask was slowly consumed by the pitch-black aura, the mask had taken sentience, gained control. Earlier succumbed to being a familiar to Shadow, the Prince of Twilight, now finally in control of himself again and in control of a far more powerful being. Again, as the dark aura enclosed the full creature, it began to grow, absorbing the power of everything around it and dragging it into the endless abyss. As the eyes peeled open, it uttered 4 words. Everything shall be consumed. Several omniverses wiped out in a single swipe of its claw. Its breath poured through planets, shattered stars, black holes created left and right, and every helpless victim that walked amongst the light was dragged into the cold heart of the abyss. But deep inside the bowels of the abyss, there lied one man on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path there was a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin was a princess.